Right, so the first problem of the session, you can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the first problem is about Mark has a garden that is made up of 3 square sections, the first small one and the largest one. He builds a fence on one side of the garden as shown below. So we have a fence right there on the one side of the garden, like this one, right?
Uh-huh.
So which of the following is closest to the length of the fence, which is L? So L is representing the length of the fence. So what do we have to do? We have to find out the side of the first square, the second and third one, right?
Yeah.
So now, how do we know? How can we find the sides? That's the question. Let me make all of them. 11.56. Mm, so sorry about that. Tiny one. It's that one is also squared, right? So I have to be careful when I. Sorry. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So we have the area of all of them. So area is the inside of the this region inside. That's the area. That's what we call area, the region inside. So the area of the first one is, do you remember what was that? So the area is 11.56.
Okay. And the second one, I'm on it.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is 6.76.
And third,
21.16.
centimeter squared is important.
Yep.
So we have the area, that means the inside of those squares. Now the region, we know that area is side length multiplied by side length in the case of a squared. So what we're gonna do, we just write down the A equals to S multiplied by S, and S represents the side length. And in the case of first, the area is 11.56, and we have S squared, right? Now we do the square root of left hand side. Okay. Now, what do? We find the value of that. Let's use calculator for that. I need standard. All right, scientific is gonna be good. Okay, so I want to make it more smaller. Alright, so we're gonna do 11.56 and square root of that, right? So they have the power like by as 1 over y. Y is exponent. So let's use the standard one because they have the square root easily.
Hello?
Was it disconnected?
Yeah, I think so. Is your Wi-Fi good or mine?
My Wi-Fi is good. I don't know. Do you have a good connection there?
Yeah, I have full bars. I got Bell.
Okay, let me log in again. There we go.
How much is your Mbps?
I have a 5G actually speed. Share screen.
Oh, I don't know how much that is.
5G is like pretty smart. It's one of the smartest, like, the internet. Really
Oh,
quick, yeah. So we have that, and now we were doing the calculator of that. So let me. Right, and yeah, so we were doing the square root of that. So let's do the square root of standard one. They don't have an option. Like I was thinking that's something small, but anyways, we can do with this one. So anyways, can you find the square root of 11.56 there?
sure.
I got it actually. 11.5 square root of that. I don't know why it is. Square root of. Oh, it's like different. 3.4. So the side length is 3.4 centimeter. Now in the second one, we do the same thing, and that is 6.7. So 6.76 equals to, let me call this is A, that is A, that was S and S. Now we like side lengths are SS and that one is AA, so A squared, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
we do the square root of 6.76. Now what is that? 6
That is
point
that is 2.6.
2.6. You already did that? Good.
Yep.
And the third one is, let me call it C and C. So the area is 21.16 equals to C times C squared. So square root of that is gonna be 4 point. Can you figure it out?
Yeah, sure.
4
It's
point
4.6.
665. Yeah. Now, the values that we evaluated, these are the side lengths of those squares that we have there. And we were interested in the side length, this one, right? Now, in order to
Yep.
find it, what we do, we add all of them one by one. This side length is S for this squared, right?
Uh-huh.
So we do 3.4 plus 2.6 plus 4.65. So we add them all. 3.4 plus 2.6 plus 4.65. So that is L. L is like the side, the whole black one. Now, will you add them up please?
Sure. It's 10.65.
10.65. And you had to write centimeters there. So length is those many centimeters. Good.
Yeah. Now we find the base.
What do you mean by base?
Oh, I thought.
Let me
Okay,
see.
no.
Yeah, let me see the question. So the answer according to us is 10.65, and 10.65 is the B option. So this is the answer of this question. Got it?
Mm. Yeah.
All right. So that was that. Now the next question didn't number them. That's third. I don't know. Probably this one is second one. It's like really random the way she. Anyways, we're gonna go over this one, the second one right there. So the question is, Lee thinks of a line thinks of a line represented by the equation y equals to negative 4x plus 6. So we have a line negative 4x plus 6. Which line on the graph below is steeper than Lee's line? So let's have a look at that. We have P, P, and Q, R, U. Those are the names of the lines.
Yeah.
So the line Lee thinks of a line represented by y equals to negative 4x plus 6. Now, which of the following graphs, like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, is steeper than Lee's line? Now, let me write down Lee's line is negative 4x plus 6. I go to, right, y equals to, what was that? Negative 5x plus 4x plus 6. Negative 4x plus 6 is the equation of our line, and which of the followings are equal? That's what we have to figure out, right?
Yeah.
So now,
Wait, can you hold on a second? My dad's calling.
sure. All right. So now the slope of her line is negative 4x, right? That's the slope of her line.
Yeah.
So disappear. Let me actually. All right. So the line represented by now this line. What is the slope of this line? Now we know that slope of the line is the coefficient of x, and x coefficient is negative 4. So this number negative 4 is the steepness, and it's negative. So it's like falling down. And the y-intercept is 6. So
Yeah.
we have plus 6, then goes down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go right by 1 because we have 1 on the right hand side, right?
Yeah.
So the line is gonna look somehow like that. We can even draw that one down there. Plus 6 and negative 4 over 1. Now plus 6 is right there. And we go down by negative 4. So negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you do run to the right here. Right? In the
Yeah.
same manner, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then run. So now we meet these blue dots in a straight line, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the line. Her line is gonna look like that, right?
Is that?
The blue one. So now if you look at the blue one, it's one of the most negative, the most negative steeper line, right? Falling down more quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So all the lines are more steeper than her. Like the black line right there, this one, and then U and even the R, both of them are, less steeper. They're falling down, but with the less slope. So their slope is somehow bigger than the slope of the line, the blue one. So all the lines are more steeper. Having less steepness than. Now, which line on the graph below is steeper than Lee's line? Now, in what context they're asking negatively, she is the steepest one.
Uh-huh.
And now, let me look at that. Has a y-intercept that has half the value of Lee's line? Which line on the graph below is steeper than Lee's line? So they gave you all those options, and I don't know if you can go for the multiple choices. Actually, that is the question B, the second question. The first one is steeper than which line on the graph below uh, is steeper than Lee's line. So you can say that in a positive sense, we say like line is steeper. Now this is completely, a relative question. In a negative slope, this line is more steeper than this one, right?
Yeah.
L is more steeper than M. But positively, you can call this line is more steeper than that. So this is K, this is G line. So G line is more steeper than. So it depends in what context they're asking. So let's assume they're asking in the context of negative steepness. Then Lee's line is the most steeper line. But if they're asking in the positive concept, then all the lines are more steeper, right, than her. So in a negative, she is the steepest one. Has a y-intercept that has half the value of the Lee's line. Now 6 and there is 3 right there, right? Now
Yeah.
line P has a y-intercept 3 and Lee's line has a y-intercept 6. Is it right?
Yeah.
So if you look at that, what we're gonna do, we just write the answer is P, and which is the A option. So you're gonna mark that one right. Okay.
Okay.
So that was that. Now the next thing is let me. Actually, every time it goes back to the original page. That's weird. But anyways, um, now we look at this question right there. The table below shows information about the total cost to rent a car and the distance driven.
Mm-hmm.
The distance driven D is on the left hand side and it's like 100, 200, 300, and so on, 400. And the cost is increasing as well, right?
Yeah.
So the question is the table below shows the information about the car. Which information would the c intercept and the slope of the graph of this linear relationship give? So what information would the c intercept? Now c intercepts are the values that we have for I think I have to use pen. So what information would the c-intercept and slope of the graph of this linear relationship? So the slope is going to be the, now the distance, let me write down, did they make a graph? No, they didn't. So the distance is a d, and it's deciding your cost, c. C is the y axis and the d is the x axis, right? Distance is on the x axis and cost is on the y axis. So
Yeah.
as distance increases here, the cost is also increasing. So it looks like now if you look at 100 kilometers, let's say this is 100, 200, 300, 400. Now 100, the cost is 65, then 85, 80, then 95, and then 110. So the line is somehow going up like that, right? So the slope of the line is rise over run. So what do? We just pick 2 points, like this one and that one. So we find the rise, which is going to be the distance there. Run is that, right? So in order to find the rise, we do the differences of the y component and we divide it by the x components, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what information would the c-intercept, c is the cost, the slope of the graph of this linear relationship give? So the cost c, the c-intercept is a value where distance is 0. You see, somewhere there. So
Yeah.
here, distance something, this point is the c-intercept. So d is 0. So the first step is to find out the slope of the line and find out the equation, and then we can talk about the c-intercept or the y-intercept. So how do we find the slope of the line? We do rise, and rise divided by run. Now, in order to find rise, you have to, rise is a c component.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, rise is a c component. So the change in 2c is that. So what we do 80 minus 65, and the run is the d. So this axis, d axis is the run. So the difference in the corresponding d is gonna be 200 minus 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I find the slope, and my slope is now um, 15 divided by 100, which is 0.15. 0.15 is the slope of the line.
Is that only for 100 and 200?
No, you can pick for any 2 points. You can do 95 minus 80 over 300 over 200. You can pick any 2 points, then do rise divided by run. This is the run, that's the rise. So the rise is the difference in the c. In this case, c is the rise component, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a slope. I can create an equation for that. Let's substitute 0.05 y equals to mx plus b, and I have a slope which is 0.15. Yes. Now this is the slope of the line. Now the thing is that I have to write the same components. I don't have to write c and y and x. Rather, write the cost depends upon the distance. So the slope is that. Let me write down c here and the d there. C variable, c is a unknown variable, d is the distance, and b is the y-intercept. Now in order to find b, we substitute one of the c and d. What does it mean? That means corresponding like this thing. When the d is 100, c is 65. Is it right?
Yeah.
Now we substitute d 100 and c 65, and the distance is 100, and C is 65. 0.15 plus B. Now you times it by that and you get 65 minus 15. We got 50. 50, right? So, which is the y-intercept. Now B is representing the y-intercept, so let me write it down there. So I go back and substitute the B in that equation. So my equation is cost equals to, this is the steepness slope plus the B, which is 50. So I have that equation, right? This is the equation of the line. Now, what they were asking about the B, which is 50. So your answer is just 50 is the answer. So what information? So let me distance. What information would the C intercept and the slope of the graph of this linear relationship give? So let's go down there. So we figure out 50, and that's the fixed phi. The y-intercept or the c-intercept, we call it fixed phi. So let's go back to that. This value, the b value, is 50, right? And we call it y-intercept. But in this case, we call it c-intercept because your c y-intercept is represented by the c, right? And the x is represented by that. So this value is 50, so that's right. 50 is a fixed phi, so this is slope somehow. And the cost per kilometer, sorry, not a slope, it's a b value. B is that. And the slope is the rate of change. So rate of change means change in the cost as you're driving more kilometers, right? So the change is that. So for 1 kilometer, you have to spend 15 cents. So the cost per kilometer is that. So the rate of change, we call it steepness or slope in the line. So the answer is C for that. Good?
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what you were asking?
I just forgot.
All right, but you got it, right? You understand the question.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one is I don't know why it's not expanding. It's not like exposing the whole thing. Anyway, so let's go back and redo it. Okay. All right. So that question and then this one. Let's go over that one. Consider the line represented by the equation that 3x plus 2. It looks like, did we do that one? No, we didn't do that one. Consider the line represented by the equation that a new line is formed by decreasing the slope and increasing the y-intercept. So, all right. So they formed a new line whose variables are changing. So we decreased the slope. That means we made it less steeper, the new line, and the y-intercept is going up. So like the y-intercept in that equation is 2, but in the graph that is 4. So we went up by 2 units. So we increased it by 2. Now in the main equation, the slope is 3, which is the the steepness of the line. So now 3 is a run, rise is 3, run is 1. So
Yeah.
steepness is 3, and this line steepness is, rise is same, run is same, so 1. So they decrease it from 3 to, they made it 1, right? So a new line is formed by decreasing and increasing slope. Now, which of the following could be the graph of the new line? Okay, so they gave us the options. Now, let's make the equation of this line, and the line that they gave us is passing to 2, passing through 2. So I make a point there. And the y-intercept is 2, yeah. M is 3 over 1. So we do rise by 3, 1, 2, 3, run by 1. Then we just meet them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be a line like that. Okay. That's the line. Now the question is, which of the following could be the graph of the line? Let's compare with the rest of them. Is the B? No. Is the A1? No. So this
No.
line is not. This line is not. And how about the D and C? This one? Nope.
It,
So it looks like none of them, right?
no, it looks like C.
Let me see. Line formed by decreasing the slope. Which of the following could be the graph? So, sorry. Yeah, actually, I misunderstood. So they're talking about this line. New line is formed by decreasing the slope. So if you decrease it, it's gonna be less steeper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
which line is giving slope less than that, but the y-intercept is more? Y means B is 2. So which line has a bigger y-intercept? This line, yes. So how about the steepness of that being decreased? Yes. So I think A is the option, because in this line, the D part, the y-intercept is 0, but they are saying y-intercept is being increased, right? And the slope
Mm-hmm.
is being decreased, so it's opposite. So this is not the option. This is not the option. The y-intercept in this one is 4, but the steepness is more than that. It's like 4. Steepness of this line is 4 over 1. If you look at the rises that much, run is just 1. So this line has a slope 4, but I need slope less than that. It's falling down, right? So this is
Yeah.
the only option, the A part. So A is the answer for this question. Good?
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about this question?
The,
Diagram below is made of the right triangle and 3 squares.
do you get it?
Yeah, I'm asking you, what do you think about it? Any idea?
Oh. Mm, kind of hard to tell.
Right, so that in this diagram we have 3 squares and 1
Yeah.
triangle.
Uh-huh.
So right triangle, yeah, we have a right triangle in the middle. This angle is right angle. Which of the following is represented by this diagram? Now the p squared equals to r squared minus m squared. Now we don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about some relations of the squares of the side lengths. What we know that in a right angle triangle there is some relation that looks like that, and we call it Pythagorean theorem, a theorem introduced by Saint Pythagoras, right? So according to that theorem, the largest side, or the side opposite to 90 degrees,
Uh-huh.
its a square equals to the sum of the squares of other sides, which are m and p.
Yeah.
So now they basically isolated one of the variable from this one and rewrite it in a different form. Now you have to recognize which one of the following is the answer.
Uh,
If you isolate p from that, you have to send m squared to the left hand side. So you're gonna get r squared minus m squared, right? So now
yeah.
see, p squared equals to r squared minus m squared. Yes, that is right. If I move the p squared to the left hand side, we get r squared minus p squared equals to m squared. And that is exactly the same as this line. Sorry, I did opposite. I have to move the m, not the p. So I move the m
Yeah.
to the right hand side. Yeah. So if we do that, we will get r squared minus m squared equals to p squared, which is that line. Good.
Oh, it's
P
still the same.
Yeah, p squared equals to r squared minus m squared. And if you yeah, that's it. R squared minus m squared. Rest of them are not. You can see that this is not because they are writing negative sign in front of r, which is not true. And there they're writing r squared equals to that, which is not true because r squared is equals to the sum, not the difference. And same for that, they're not true. So the answer is A.
Okay.
Any question?
No.
Is it understood everything?
Yeah, I understood, but like I think if numbers were there, it would be like much easier.
Yeah, I know that, but they want you to recognize the relation that we have among the sides in a right angle triangle. In a right angle triangles, one of the famous result is by Pythagoras. So Pythagorean theorem is what they want you to recognize in a different forms. That was that. So we finished your homework, and let me go back.
Okay. We still have like I still have like 3 pages to complete.
3 pages. So that is one of them.
Mhm.
And okay, so on the same assignment, you mean?
Yeah, on the same assignment.
Okay, I see what you mean. That's right. All right, so let's go. I thought that was the only one, but
Mm.
anyways, um, now we have this rectangle and this question. Silence are given there. Which expression represents the area of the rectangle in centimeter squares? Can you
Did you
tell
just
me?
ask me?
Yeah, I'm asking you which expression represents the area.
Oh.
Now, area of a rectangle. Do you know the formula for that?
Oh, for the area?
Yeah,
Base times height.
base. Yeah, or you can call length times by width, right? So one of the side is 3x, and you times it by
Fine.
the x plus 5, right?
Yeah.
So that's the area. Now you can expand it. 3x times by x is 3x squared. Then
Mhm.
3x times by 5 is 15x. Good.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's the. Which one? This one. Yep. D is the answer for that one. Good.
Yeah. Good.
Now, next one is. I don't know where's the statement of that. Looks pretty. Anyways, You see some stuff is hidden in there. I don't know why it's like that. I mean, some of the words are not in. Looks weird. Anyways,
Oh,
5 kilometer of highway between city X and
she photo.
Y. Pardon?
I think she photocopied it, like scanned it.
Oh yeah, probably. So now 5 kilometer of highway between city X and Y is closed. So X and Y, that highway is closed. So there are two possible tour routes. So tour routes that we have there is one through town A. So town A is very far down there. You can
Mm-hmm.
go to A and then come back to city Y, and vice versa. Or now, and one through town B, which is not that far, but yeah, that's true. We don't know the speed limit and stuff, but anyways, we just looking at the distance and we assume speed is same. Um, as shown in the diagram below. So this is the shape below right there. Which
Mm-hmm.
how much? Sorry, what I'm saying. How much shorter is the detour through town B? So we know that the B through town B it's gonna be shorter, but how shorter is the detour through the B than the detour through town A? So the first thing we find the length of the big triangle, which is x a y x a y. So we're gonna find out the lengths that we have, this one and that one, and so on, right? Now, if you look at this triangle, they gave you this side length, which is hidden right there. I cannot read it. Can you read on your web page?
No, I also can't.
All
So we
right, so
can't.
yeah, ask her what is that. I assume, let's assume it's 10 or 15, right? I assume 12 actually, because I know there's a nice relation if I assume this is 12 kilometers. That is 5. Now, by saying Pythagoras, the side length AY, which is the largest from here to there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a square equals to the sum of the squares of other sides, which is 5 and 12. So by doing that, I can find AY. So AY squared equals to 144 plus 25. And the sum of them, if you use your calculator, is going to be that. And what is the next step? We have to find AY. We do
Yeah.
square root on both sides. So square root of 169 is 13. So AY is 13.
Wait, it
This,
is?
yeah, that's 13.
Let me check.
Yeah, you can check that. It's pretty. So this is 13.
Yes, 13.
Alright, now the next thing. We find this is also right angle triangle. This angle is 90 right there. So we use right angle triangle. According to Pythagoras, the largest side in this triangle, which is 5 squared, equals to the sum of the small sides, which is 3 and xb. This one xb, right? Now you solve that and I forgot to write squared there. Xb squared. Now 25 minus 9 is 16. Let me write it down. I don't want you to confuse with this thing. So 25 minus 9 is 16 equals to xb squared. Is it right?
Let me check. Yeah.
Okay. So now we do the square root on both sides. Xb Why do we do square root on both sides? In order to get rid of the squared.
Uh-huh.
So so we do the square root of that, which is 4. So xb equals to 4. Are you writing down your answers on the same time?
Yeah, I
Okay.
have paper right here. I'm writing now, so I'm like
Okay.
quiet.
Good. So we have xb, which is 4. So we have 4 right there. Now the question was how much distance the detour via B is less than the detour via A. So the detour via B, let me write down here. Detour via B town is gonna be 4 plus 3, which is 7. Now we do detour via town A.
I got 18.
Pardon?
I got 18. Like the answer.
Okay, answer is 18. That's good. So 12 plus 13 d2 via a is equals to 25, and the answer is gonna be the differences of these two. So how much distance do we save by going through town B? 18 kilometer. So that much shorter than town A. Good.
Mm, yeah. Wait, isn't it until 5?
Pardon?
Isn't the thing until 5?
Oh yeah, that's right. So what we're gonna do, so next time don't waste. I mean, be late, because that's kind of not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So just be on time. Anyway, so we have done all those questions, and you try to do rest of them.
Okay.
Try means really try, exert, spend some good time, and then um, you know we will see your mistakes and your problems that you couldn't do. And you can go to my website londonmathsolutions.ca,
Mm-hmm.
and you can watch the same video there. And yeah, or just Google London Math Solutions, and you'll find many links and my website as well. So
Can you just
until
the link because last time I couldn't find
yeah, I'll send you the link. All right, so you can subscribe my YouTube channel, London Math Solutions. If you do that, you'll find my YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to that,
it.
and
Sure.
you'll get all the uploads. So your video is gonna be uploaded by your name, so you can find it easily.
Okay.
And see you next time. Then have a good day.
Have a good day.